Hi there, Paige here from Paige Haynes Kinesiology. I just thought I'd check in today. I've had a really, strong calling this week on self-esteem. So within my teaching, within my practice this week, there's been a lot of focus around the self-esteem, or I guess the importance of that for particularly women, but I guess for everyone as well. For me, I think self-esteem is at the heart of, both all good in the world, but also, those things that we're seeing in the world that are maybe not aligning with our values. And so I really believe that self-esteem is at the heart of it. So the very first thing is that's why self-esteem is important. It's something that inherently as humans, I think that we need to be working on. I don't think it's something that we're naturally born with. It's something that we question. It's something that we, sometimes struggle with. And but it is one of those things that I think needs attention. I think it needs love. I think it needs focus. And this isn't about being full of yourself. And I think that's probably something, particularly in Australia, we have this tall poppy thing going on where, if you are confident within yourself, then you're seen to be, full of yourself or up yourself, or you love yourself. And you know what? I don't think there's anything wrong with loving yourself. But yeah, so this isn't talking about, that being over confident, but it's just that quiet self-esteem, that pride within yourself. I think in this day and age where we're seeing children come through, and there's the cyberbullying and the bullying in person happening more prolifically. I don't know whether it is or not, or whether it's just being reported more, but also the youth suicide rates and teen suicide rates. I think particularly as parents, we need to be standing in our own self-esteem, showing children by example, not telling them, but showing them what a healthy self-esteem looks like. And perhaps that's what's being degraded. Perhaps that's part of the bigger problem, is that children are not seeing that within their own parents. They're seeing a deficit there. So from that level, I think it's, even if it's just for them, not even for yourself. So that being said, what can we do to boost our self-esteem? So for me, when I'm in session with people, it's something that I often work on within kinesiology. Colour therapy is one of the things that often comes up. So we have some chakras in our body, and the solar plexus, which is our, around our tummy kind of area, is yellow. So it's represented by the colour yellow. So even tapping into that place in you and around that solar plexus chakra can help build, that sense of self, that confidence in yourself, and also then visualizing the color yellow or surrounding yourself with the color yellow. So that could look like, if you're into crystals, then, the citrine crystal is beautiful, but anything with that yellow kind of color to it, reminding you of the sun, would be really beneficial. Even if wearing yellow is not your thing, because it's not really mine, it's not something that I have a lot of in my wardrobe, but maybe a yellow scarf, or perhaps it's, if you're in an office, then it's putting some yellow flowers there, or if you're at home, then it's a yellow picture, something that can that you can see every day, and even relate back to that and have that intention that yellow means that to you. I think also a daily practice. So, there's been different ones that I've tried over the years, and looking myself in the mirror and saying, I love you. For me, that doesn't necessarily work. However, I did find one recently recommended, and I love it because it's actually in the shower. And as I'm washing myself, I'm sending love to those parts of my bodies and thanking them for all that they do, and saying at that point, I love you. And that for me was really... it has been really transformational, because oftentimes we look in the mirror and it's like we see all the faults, right? Rather than the things that are actually really good in our bodies, and the things that our bodies do. So it's a really base level one, but it's a really tapping back into that physical level, being thankful for all that our body does, and thanking it for and loving it for being as it is. Another really, really simple way of boosting your esteem and, doing that on a daily basis is when we receive compliments, to actually receive them, not to brush them off. And I know that I'm not perfect at this, definitely not, but to really say, yeah, okay, thank you. I accept that compliment, instead of Well, I know here anyway in Australia that often it's like, no, that's not true, blah, 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 or we put ourselves down as soon as somebody says that. But to really sit and absorb what's being said that's nice to you is an amazing way to build that self-esteem and to remember it. Another thing that I get my new students to do, or my students in general, and what I try to do as well, is when we are working and we have clients and we have a win, where someone reports something that's changed and shifted for them, I get them to write it in, I call it their awesome book, because inherently we tend to remember the negative comments that we get, or the non-feedback that we get, or but when we get the good feedback, we tend to kind of just brush over it or not. The same way with compliments. Someone says something bad to us and that sticks. But with the compliments, we forget about them. So by actually writing down things, so this could be in your own work, or it could be in your life. It's just keeping an awesome book. And when you have a win, you write it down. So when you're having those bad days or the, less than perfect days, you can take a look at that and have a little read through. I remember when that happened. So it's just like this nice little boost of self-esteem. So like a journal, I guess, but it's a positive journal. It's things that are, that have happened, that you've made a difference in someone's life. And that could be with your kids as well. When your kids are, their manners are beautiful, or they've said something beautiful, or they've acknowledged something, or you can see that your hard work has paid off. So write that in there too. So these are just some really simple little ways. So a daily practice, whether that's in the shower or if it's looking in the mirror, but it's sending love to your body in some way. It's accepting those compliments when they come, and it's boosting that solar plexus area, and perhaps with the color yellow. So some simple things that you can do to help to boost your self-esteem, to help not only your immediate people around you, but also the planet as a whole, I believe. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. It's a lovely Friday here. I'm looking forward to some celebrations this weekend with friends, and I wish you a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Paige from Paige Haynes Kinesiology. Bye.